Welcome back, everybody. I finally got around to finishing making the panels on my pagoda, and it came out pretty good. This is kind of just things put together as I have them now. Nothing's attached. See, the foot came off there. So the next piece I'm going to make is going to be for the top. My intent, because I probably am going to put a light inside of here or electrify it somehow, I'm going to make it so the top will come off. That's basically the pattern right here. I'm going to attach it to my same board that I made all this with and cut it out. That'll just stick right on here. And you'll see these slots will end up being guides for, it'll be basically the ribs of the roof. Here's the finished top, or at least part of the finished top. Now, basically that's going to slide onto these, which is going to take a bit of work to get on. Because you gotta, well, maybe it won't be too bad. I'm going to guess I'm going to have to pull each panel out and shape it to fit the slots. A little sanding here and there goes a long ways. I wanted to keep everything nice and tight. So that fits you. That fits you. Oh, well. There you go. And there it is. So now that I have this finished, I'm going to move on to making the rib pieces of the roof. Now those are going to be actually two pieces sandwiched together, because each side has a different angle cut in it for the roof panel. Then they'll be glued together. Now, the trick with this is I need a 60-degree cut on the end for them all to mesh together in the middle when I'm done. And I can't hit my saw that much. I actually do have a guide block that one side is 60 degrees and the other is 30 that I use for different things. And of course I can do a 30-degree angle pretty easy on my scroll saw. But 60, not so much. So, rather than use that though, I'm actually going to include a pattern for that in my plan to make a small guide block just to do that cut. Let's make a guide block and we can look at cutting these out. Each rib, it's a 60-degree cut on this plane, and then the slots will be cut in at 15 degrees. It'll be interesting to see how it fits together. So here I have the guide that I'm going to use for my 60-degree angle cut assembled. It's just stuck together. I didn't glue it or anything. It's tight enough so it's going to work. And here's essentially the pattern. Basically the way this is going to work is it'll be cut straight here, but then at the top line it'll be a 60-degree angle cut. So first I have to separate these two pieces. They're laid out like this because I wanted the grain to kind of somewhat line up with the length of the piece. So I'm going to just kind of cut them into two pieces so I can do my edge cuts. And before I do my angle cut, I'm going to have to do some of these starting cuts just so because I'm going to lose my lines of where to cut otherwise. Alright. trouble getting my blade to go right here. After thinking things through a bit, I'm going to have to cut out my slot for the roof panels. Now those are going to angle kind of upward into the piece at 15 degrees. So I've got an angle hole here. I'm going to kind of cut them this way first to the end, and then I'm going to cut them that way to the end. Otherwise I'm going to lose my shape there. Alright, I'm cutting the wrong way here. It's key that you get it right the first time. So now I have to go here, so let's see, right, it's 15 degrees. And we have our 15-degree slot. So, to review, I have my cut here, I have my cut up from the bottom here, and I have the 15-degree slot cut in. What's going to be, I don't know, I call it the roof frame, I call it kind of a rib. I suppose it's like a truss or a rafter. So now, I need to get my 60-degree cut. So, take this piece here, and I'm simply going to hold that in place like that, and cut it. Okay, the problem we're having, that actually worked alright, but the problem we're having is we don't have any wood support here. Not a huge deal. Once we're glued all together, it'll be fine. So what I might do is actually cut the other one out and see about gluing the two together before doing that final shape. I'll just cut a little here and a little here to line things up. Then on the bottom to line it up. We got our curve on the back side. So we're going to try to line up these 3 points, glue it together, see how it works. I just finished cutting out the second piece. I did a much better job. And I imagine by the time I do the last one of these, I'll be doing it real easy and quick. This one was a little easier to cut because it started with the square side, so it's the opposite side of this. So these are going to go together like so. Alright, so I'm going to glue this, have it glued together. Everything's holding together nicely because I was a little more careful on this side here, so I didn't cut through. Just need to cut out the final profile here. At this point, I've cut 2 out. The second pair came out much nicer. I didn't mess up like I did on this one. But basically they're going to just clip right into the here, like so. And that's how they'll work. Now what I have to do is make the panels that'll go inside each one. It's basically the pattern I have for that. And I'm going to just cut the sides at 15-degree angles to match the angle in the slot. I'm going to cut one out and just test it out, make sure it fits and works and lines up the way I intend. Well, I have the panel right here. I messed up one of the angles the first time around. It's very hard actually to keep all the angles straight when you're cutting this out. There's a few spots you end up having to, because this is flat and this cut in was straight. And straight, you end up with a little bit of a piece you have to cut out with a knife. Not a big deal. Just go in there and cut it out. And then a moment of truth. Let's see if we can get it in without any sanding. So what I don't really know is if I have to adjust there or on the bottom angle at all. I'll just try to put it on one side first. That seems to actually go in pretty nice. Not sure if that's right here. Looks like I may have to cut a little off the end. See how she lines up with this guy. Ooh, I busted a little. It's too long. But with just a little sanding and rounding on the end of that, it fits in perfectly now. It slips, should slip right in here. Alright. Alright, I finally got it in place. It was a little difficult. I have to get it, slide it into all the spots at the same time. So, might want to loosen up the tolerances a little bit when cutting out some of the other pieces, I guess. But that looks like it's going to be pretty nice. I'm not worried about this crack in this one piece here, because once this whole top is glued together, it'll be glued tight. It won't be a problem. Made another support and another panel. For the third one, things came out really nice. The key thing to note about making these is when you're doing the 15-degree cut, do not cut the end with the 15-degree taper, or it gets too close to the joint. Making the panels, make the end round the ends and stuff, and it comes together really nice. Really nice. So, I got a few more of these to cut out, put together. I want to thank everyone for watching and hope you come back to see the finished product. Thanks for watching.